Hello, everyone. This is MMA Interesting Prospects podcast. Today, our guest is Terrance Saeteurn, one of the main stars of A1 Combat. Hello, Terrance. How are you?
Hey, how you doing, Marcin?
Yes, I'm good, thanks. Terrance, you have a fight scheduled against Lake G, who is also an undefeated fighter. And please tell me about this opponent and how do you feel it's going to end?
Well, yeah, like you said, he's undefeated as well. He's 6-0. He's got a little bit more experience than me. He's a little bit taller. Um, I think it's going to be a really good fight, man. To be honest with you, I tend not to be so much in boring fights, and this one I don't expect any difference. So yeah, it'll be a good fight. I think so.
Yes, you are definitely an action fighter. I watched all your professional fights, and you finish your opponents. You going for the finish. So I think that all fans like this kind of style.
hmm
And what do you think it's gonna happen after you win this fight? Do you think that you will get a chance to fight for the title with Josep Morales?
that would be cool. I'm not trying to look past Lake right now, but yeah, that would be a pretty good statement, right? I got that would be 4 fights, 4 finishes, and fighting for the title. Yeah, that would be nice. But I don't know. I'm not one to really turn opportunities down. So if like another opportunity presents itself, then I might take advantage of that. It just depends on what's going on. But I would definitely be open to fighting for the title after this.
Yes, and I think that it would be a good matchup because Morales is former UFC fighter. He didn't lose any fight outside the UFC, so I think that it would be pretty big thing for you.
Mhm.
And tell me about your beginnings with the MMA. Did you start MMA training or do you wrestle first?
Yeah, I started wrestling when I was 9 years old. Um, I didn't really get, I didn't really like get too good at it or like understand what I was doing until I was like 16. And yeah, so I started wrestling when I was 9, and I did it all the way through high school. And after high school, I took some time off. I just got a regular job and was trying to work. And then I finally, decided to say, screw it. I'm just gonna take this leap of faith and just join this gym and just see how this goes. And I started training like boxing, kickboxing, jujitsu, and MMA when I was 23. And yeah, I haven't stopped. So it's been about 3 years now, almost 4 years. I think it'll be 4 years in April actually. So yeah.
And what is your favorite part of the training? Because after watching your fights, we can see that your striking is great. So is it kickboxing?
Yeah, I would say so. Yeah, I'd say punching people and hitting people in the face is probably one of my favorite things, or just hitting somebody is probably one of my favorite things. I definitely like the whole like using your brain, using your smarts, your wits, and your technique as well. I'm not necessarily a big guy, but I do tend to focus a lot on technique and just learning new things and applying them once you learn it. That is a very satisfying feeling for me. Like learning something and then instantly applying it, whether it's in like a live round, like when you're sparring, or even in a competition setting when you're in actual fighting.
Okay. And where do you currently train?
I train in my the school that I train at is called Train for Life. It is located in Sassoon City, California.
Okay. And do you have any like regular sparring partners? The fighters that you do spar regularly?
Yeah, definitely. My teammate Houston Skibeck, he's also a 125 pounder, He actually just won the California State title in his last fight for 135, and I believe he's going to be making his pro debut sometime this year as well. So yeah, Houston, and then I got another one, Amini Kapapa. He's a 145er. He just fought his second amateur MMA fight. These two guys, Houston and Amini, were actually my teammates in high school when I was wrestling. So we've known each other for quite some time now, and it's kind of cool how everything kind of goes in full circle. You know, like we're all on the same team again. So yeah, Houston, Amini, and then I got my boy Kanoa Salas, who's a super slick Muay Thai fighter. He's about to get ready for his second amateur Muay Thai fight. Um, and then obviously Blake. I spar with Blake, not a lot, but I will spar with him. You know, um, and yeah. So those are pretty much my basic sparring partners for the most part. Oh, and then Jules. We got this kid, Jules. He's 19, I think, 19 or 20. He's been training with us for a couple of years now, and that kid's like a sponge, man. He's gotten super freaking good. He's a really good student of the game. He asks really good questions. He's always willing to help. Yeah, Jules.
And because when we can see your record, it's 3-0, so fans can think that you are not so experienced. But when we dig deeper, we can see that you had a long amateur career. You were like 8-1, and why did you decided to stay to be an amateur for a long time?
Well, that's a really good question. Well, because so like I said, I wrestled in high school, and when I was wrestling in high school, I really wanted to be a state champion, a California state champion for wrestling, and you know, I loved wrestling a lot. It was my favorite. It was like my thing, you know, and I didn't even I didn't even get to qualify for the state tournament. I wasn't fucking good enough for the state tournament. So that kind of left a pretty big scar, I guess, or just like I just left like a big like hole in me that I felt like, damn, like I'm never gonna be able to get that back. And then when I started fighting amateur, I heard that you can be a state champion. So when I heard that, I was like, oh well, this has got to be my second chance. You know, I've always wanted to be a state champion. I wasn't even a state champion in high school, so I was like, you know, this is my second chance. Not a lot of people get second chances to do things or to get right with whatever goals that they had. So I just when I was fighting, it was cool. I won quite a couple of titles for a couple of different organizations. Um, but my main goal as an amateur was to be the California State champion. And I had a bunch of people telling me like, like, oh, you should go to pro already. It's time for you to make that jump. And then I had a couple other people like, take your time, blah blah blah. Blah. And ultimately, it was my decision. So the reason why is because I wanted to fight for the state title and win the state title. And I finally got to do that in my last amateur fight. And yeah, it was good. It was really good to cross that off one of my goals.
And I think that the amateur career has a lot of advantages, because if you lose something, you can get some experience and go pro and try to stay undefeated as a pro. So it's amateur scene is a little bit like a proving ground. I think so.
Exactly. It's like a practice for a professional, But yeah, you're absolutely correct.
Yes, but in your case, you have a great results as an amateur and also as a professional fighter. So it means that you are just very very good fighter. And
Yeah.
because of some technical difficulty, we are back. And the last question was about state of flyweight division, because Bellator or PFL don't have one. So what do you think overall about 125 pounders?
I think that the 125-pound division is a really underrated division. I think that it doesn't really get a lot of credit just because people are really small, and they're a lot most of the time they're a lot more technical, and for them being technical, it calls for a little bit more decisions and maybe less knockouts and finishes. But honestly, I think that we're the best division to watch. No disrespect to any of the other divisions. Um, yeah, it's kind of sad that Bellator doesn't have a flyweight champion. They do have flyweight fighters, but like not like a whole roster and everything. And then same thing with PFL. Um, one's got a lot of really good lighter weight guys. That's actually the promotion that I would really like to go to. Um, and then the same with the UFC, you know, like they got a really deep division as far as the flyweights. It's starting to get really deep, and people are starting to pay more attention to it now, which is great because I'm also a flyweight, and you know, it's part of the job. You know, I would like for people to come watch me fight. I would like to people to think that I'm an entertaining fighter. So yeah.
And like you said, flyweight division is really one of the most interesting division, either 125 or 135. And we have in the UFC we have a lot of great fighters like Moreno, like Pantoja, like Mokaev. So there are a lot of good talents, and like you said, it's really not a good point that Bellator didn't have one, because I think that it would be also a great chance for the local talents to go to bigger promotion and be really the world champion.
Yes, I 100% agree. Yeah. I I totally would want to would be open to fighting for Bellator one of these days too. You know, like if I get an offer for them, like I said earlier, I'm not really one to turn down an opportunity. Um, but yeah, it would be great to see, you know, like the flyweight division there. Yeah.
And would you ever plan to go to bantamweight division?
No, no, I don't think so. I think that 25's flyweight is a really good division for me. I think that my frame's a really good frame for it, my height wise and just size wise for me. I think that I fit really well as a flyweight. Um, with the 35ers, yeah, I could make 35, but they get obviously they're going to get a little bit bigger, so I would have to gain a little bit more mass, and then they're also a lot taller too. You know, some of the 35ers are real tall, so yeah, I don't think I'm gonna move up anytime soon or at all. I don't plan on moving up at all.
And if you can, in your dreams, what would be a like dream matchup for you right now?
Mm, well, my favorite fighter is Demetrius Johnson. So it would be cool to get a chance to, you know, even just like train with him. That would be a dream. But yeah, dream matchup definitely DJ.
Yes, and DJ is so great because he's on the top for like 10 years,
Mm-hmm.
and he defended title UFC title, I believe 11 times. So
Yeah,
it's something unbelievable, and the way that he did it, it also was really spectacular.
exactly. Yeah. Yeah, that would be a dream matchup. He's just so fun to watch. He's so masterful of his craft, and he's so technical, and he's so just his fight IQ is through the roof. Yeah, just really fun to watch.
And if you got a chance to get a short notice fight in the UFC, would you be interested?
How short notice are we talking?
Uh, like 4 weeks?
Oh shit. I might, yeah, I might be open to that, depending on like what my managers and my coaches say. But shit, I would say yeah. I would say yeah, like right off the rip. But you know, like I would have to talk to my coaches and my manager about it too. It's not just up to me, even though that it is up to me, if that makes sense.
And would you be interested in going to the contender series?
I would love to go to contender series. Yeah, I would be completely interested in going to the contender series. That'd be great exposure, great chance, you know, for me to network a little bit more and get my name out there. Hell yeah, I would be completely open to going to contender series.
Yes, because right now I think that the two best options for fighters who want to go to the UFC is either a short notice fight or going to the contender series. And I think
Mm-hmm.
that contender series is really great because we can see a lot of talents that right now are on the rankings that started in the contender series, like Sean O'Malley,
Mm-hmm.
for example.
Yes, yes, yes. Yeah, man, they're picking up a lot of like really, really good on the rise fighters. So yeah, I would, yeah, definitely be open to being on the contender series.
And what do you think is the most important thing when you want to become a MMA fighter?
The most important thing to becoming an MMA fighter is, I would say, it's not just specifically one thing. I would say that it's like an accumulation of a couple of things. One of them is definitely um, commitment. You got to be committed. You got to be willing to go when you don't want to go, and even when you want to go, you still go. But even if, especially if you don't want to go, you go. So you got to be committed. You have to be willing to fail. You know, um, and you have to be willing to let your ego aside and listen to what the people around you, like your coaches, are telling you, and trusting them. And obviously a work ethic, really good work ethic. So yeah, I would say commitment. Um, let your ego go and be a student. Listen to what they have to say, and then no, don't be afraid to fail, for sure. Don't be afraid to fail, and yeah, consistency. Consistency, definitely. Keep chipping away at it. Because there's gonna be, I'm pretty sure this is with everything and every other field, but like there's gonna be moments where you're feeling like you're not progressing, um, and you're kind of staying stagnant, and there's moments when you're probably gonna feel like you're regressing and you're actually not getting better, you're getting worse. And then there's moments where you're gonna be like, wow, the wheels will start turning and everything's gonna start clicking. Um, so yeah, you just gotta be able to not get too high when the highs are highs, and not get too low when the lows are low, because in this game, in this field, like the highs are highs and the lows are lows. Everybody wants to be your friend when you're winning. Everybody wants to be in your corner and talk to you and take pictures of you and shake your hand and tell you how great you are when you're winning. But like when you're losing, it doesn't feel too great. Nobody Your real friends, the people that are really in your corner, will be there for you. So just finding the happy medium, not getting too high, not getting too low, staying right in the middle.
And we can see this when we have like world champion who lost first fight, and fans think, oh, maybe he wasn't so good, like we thought. So it's I don't think that it is a good way of thinking,
Hmm.
because the everybody will lose. When
Hmm.
you fight for a long time, it's almost impossible not to lose. So
Exactly.
so so we often have fighters that have like 5, 7, or 10 losses, and they are still great fighters with great skills and like on the world champion level. So the it's not a boxing. Like losing is not mean so much.
Hmm. Yeah, especially once you get to the highest level, right? Like it doesn't really take too much. It doesn't really take too big of a mistake for you to lose. Especially like I said, at the highest level, people are really, really good at what they do, and they're really, really good at making people do what they want them to do. Um, and it doesn't take much. A simple mistake, simple, small, little mistakes. You see it all the time. Um, um, but yeah, again, the losses doesn't really define the person, right? It's one of my mindset coaches. Well, my mindset coach, she says that what is it? A loss and failure is not the final destination. It's just a redirection. It's just redirecting you to getting better and getting to where you want, right? So yeah, it doesn't matter. Some of my favorite fighters have a lot of losses on their records, you know. Um, so yeah, it doesn't really matter about the losses. As long as you know, like if you're like a real fan and that this person is a really high level fighter, and it just happens. Shit happens, you know. People make mistakes. Little mistakes cost you dearly in this game.
Yes, like in the second fight, Edwards versus Usman,
Hmm.
the head kick.
Exactly.
Uh, it was just 1 second, and it changed everything.
Yeah, and it's funny because I was actually getting ready to leave. Like I was at my friend's house watching the fight, and then there was like what less than a minute, maybe a minute left, and I was like, man, there's just, I mean, I don't see Edwards pulling anything off. And then I got up. Right when I got up, he landed his head kick, and then that was it. I was like, whoa, damn, I'm glad I stayed. I'm glad I stayed, and I'm glad I didn't leave. You know, because man, that was spectacular. You know, it's not over until it's over. It's never over until it's over.
Yes, yes, that's right. And what do you think? Who would you be if you wouldn't be a MMA fighter?
Who would I be? I shit, I don't know. I would definitely be working. I would have like a regular 9 to 5 job. I'd probably hate my life, to be honest with you. Um, yeah, that's probably it. Just being a regular person, getting working, paying bills, and chilling with my fam and my girl. That's probably it. The only difference is now is that I'm just I fight. That's my job. Literally, that would be the only difference. I don't really think that anything would change except for my happiness. You know, I'm really happy that I'm doing what I love to do, and well, since I was a kid, you know, not a lot of people can say that, and I take a lot of pride in saying that, that I'm following my dreams, and I'm not working a 9 to 5 job that I freaking hate. You know.
Yes, it's good to risk a little bit just to go for your passion,
Mhm.
and then just try, especially if you have a great skills.
Yeah, because but so my last like, I don't want to say like, well, I guess like real job, I guess real job. I was working for this company called Torre, Advanced Composites. We made like helicopter, airplane parts and stuff, and I mean it was cool. It just, I mean, I just there was just I've been competing for since I was 9 years old. So like when I got a job and started working, I always felt like there was something missing, and this was it, you know, competing and training, preparing, and fighting, competing is what was missing. So I'm glad that I made the decision to quit, and it was really scary. It was really really scary. I was terrified. I didn't know how things were going to turn out, and when I quit my job, it was literally the week before COVID had completely shut the whole world down. So I quit my job, and then I'm like, and the world shut down, and I was like, oh shit, um, maybe I did it, and I chose the wrong time to follow my dreams, you know. But luckily, everything worked out. You know, I stayed on the path. I believed in it. I trusted it, and I kept working, kept training, and finally, things started to open back up, and opportunities started flowing in, and I was ready for the opportunities. And I'm happy that I'm really really happy that I decided to do this.
And how do you deal with the stress before your fights?
That's a really good question. Coach Sonny, my head coach, said something a while back that really, really helped. I guess calm the nerves of what you were saying, because he said that um, nervousness, like anxiety and excitement, are the same exact feelings that you feel. It's just what you're directing your energy towards. Like, you know, like you can be like real, oh my gosh, I'm so excited I get an opportunity to show what I love to do and to do what I love to do, um in front of everybody that I love and in front of people, you know, that I can be excited about it, or I can be like, Oh my God, did I train hard enough? Oh my gosh, there's so many people here. I can go out there and make a fool out of myself. Oh man, I'm so nervous. You know what I mean? So it's just more so directing the anxiety because and the nervousness because you still feel it, right? No matter how long you've been competing, you'll still feel nervous. You'll still feel the nerves before you go out and you do what it is. But it's a feeling that I personally have grown to like embrace and to like, oh, yep, there goes that feeling again. Yep, here we go. We're about to do this. We're about to go, and it's about to be time to work. So it's more so instead of nervousness, it's more so of a feeling of excitement for me, to showcase what I love to do and to showcase what I do.
So it's great. It's
Yeah,
great
yeah.
when you think about it as a challenge, as
Mhm.
exciting challenge, than like something that you can feel some bad emotions. So I
Uh-huh.
think that it's a very good like switch.
Yes, very good. Just like yeah, like I said, just where you direct your energy, are you going to be excited about getting a chance to show the world what you love to do, or are you going to be nervous like fuck, I got to take a piss. I don't know if I don't know if I chose the right job to pursue, So, it's excitement. It's always excitement. You should always be excited. Nerves are great, but you should always be excited.
And what do you like to do in your free time? Let's say that you are after the fight and you really can't train. What do you like to feel good?
I like catching up on some sleep, man. Catching up on sleep and playing video games, drinking beer. I'm just like a regular average person, to be honest with you, man. Hanging out with the boys, drinking beers, watching fights, taking my lady out, chilling with my family, going on hikes, going camping. I used to ride BMX. I don't really do it anymore, but I used to ride BMX. I'll do it every once in a while. Um, yeah, just stuff like that. Mostly just naps, though. Mostly it's naps.
And overall, what would be the perfect scenario for you in upcoming months?
In the upcoming, excuse me,
In upcoming
months. Oh, okay.
months.
Ideally, I go out next month on April the 28th and put on a great show and get another highlight reel finish. And then get another opportunity within the next couple of months after that because I want to stay active. I want to stay active this year. Um, and hopefully get an opportunity to maybe get on the contender series. I've talked to my manager about it, and we're kind of working some things out. I don't want to speak on it too soon yet, but I got some pretty exciting goals that I'm looking forward to crossing off the list this year. So you guys are gonna have to just stay tuned.
So, Terrence, good luck in your next fight, April 28th. 8th. And I hope that after this fight, we can see you, like you said, really soon.
Thank you so much for having me on your podcast, Marcin. Hey guys, I just wanted to give a quick shout out to all of my people on my team, right? Train for Life, Team Nobody MMA, Saber Jiu Jitsu, Team Saronio, my management team, Iridium. Shout out to A1 Combat. Thank you guys so much for giving me a platform to do what I love to do. Um, and then thank you guys for tuning in, and thank you, Marcin, again for having me on your show.